Alright guys, here's a quick explanation of why you see huge numbers on other servers and why you don't see huge numbers for Forbes GDKP on Fairbanks. Now, one of the easy things you can just point to is bigger numbers just means a bigger pool of gold buyers, or just big wallets, whales, whatever you want to really call them, whether they get their gold legitimately or not. If they are repeatedly using their gold item after item, raid after raid, eventually you have to ask yourself, like, how can someone keep up with this much? They're either a power gamer and have multiple accounts, they've been saving gold, for phases and phases, they are a very powerful auction house user, whatever the case is, right? But attributing high priced items only to big pools of whales is not the only thing. What you also need to do is look at the supply and demand of raids in GDKP, right? So in the case of salad bakers, one is that the demand for KT kills is actually extremely high right now. If our guild could sell a KT item, people would drop insane amount of gold, probably golds that this server's not used to, right? We've seen some big prices on certain items, our highest items being around 28k. But you'll see real gold being dropped on KT loot, especially given the opportunity with the whales, right? So if you're able to do something like what Salad Bakers did, which is what I imagine. I haven't seen their run. What I imagine is it's a group of stacked alts from the main group that has killed KT successfully before, and they're only bringing in maybe 10 to 20 buyers. Maybe 10's even a great, gracious number. Maybe it's even closer to 5 to 10 buyers. But what you want to do is you want to stack a strong enough group where the number of people being carried is obviously low, and then the concentration of the carried players and the gold density within them is very high. Now, what I'll tell you is on Fairbanks, we do not do this practice. I've actually had someone come into the stream before and ask me, how many buyers do you have in your group? And I was like, that's a great question. I've never actually considered, and we've had me and Tay describe, we're looking for buyers, mostly as lobies or people that need to be hard carried, but we've really never split or partitioned the raid in such a way where I know exactly who my hard carries are and who exactly are my buyers. Sometimes in my mind I have profiles of high spenders, this one's conservative, this one's not, but I don't necessarily know every person's character, every person's wish list, every person's overall spending habits, right? I only have a quick snapshot in my mind from emotions and memories. So when you see huge numbers on other GDKP servers, the two big questions I come back to are supply and demand, right? So if you have a high concentration of gold in your very few people that are being carried in very difficult content, such as KT, you're gonna see crazy items. Now, if we are ever able to get a rampage type GDKP, which I assume would be the first one to kill KT or Tay, either one, right? If you're able to land 5 to 10 buyers of very thick wallet quality, they'll be able to aggressively bid the prices up and up and up. Now, why we haven't seen this in AQ, or why haven't we seen this in Blackwing Lair? Now, we did see this momentarily in Blackwing Lair and AQ on their initial runs on Fairbanks, but as time went on, the saturation of raids actually went up. Fairbanks, I think, and I may be wrong, but I think Fairbanks is actually the most robust server in terms of GDKP raiding schedules, right? Scheduled raids. We literally have 10 plus Blackwing Lairs each week. We literally have over 5 plus AQs per week. When I watch other streamers, of course they're not streaming as much GDKP as me because I'm an insane person, right? But they usually do it once or twice a week. I don't know how many AQ40s, Salad Bakers, or whatever server Salad Bakers is on from host AQ40s, right? EU gold prices are also different, maybe because it's more common habit to buy gold, or maybe they have a different philosophy on spending. The Chinese servers have a different philosophy on spending gold and earning gold compared to American servers, so there could be a cultural difference, there could be a price difference. There's a lot of different reasons, but what I'll come back to on Fairbanks is that we have a lot of raids. We have over 10 Blackwing Lairs each week, we have over 5 AQ40s each week. We have 2 NAX groups now, right? None of our groups are killing KT, but 11 out of 15 for our first NAX group in progression is much better than many of the guilds on this server. I see many guilds advertising smaller numbers than 11 out of 15. Tay's about to host another group that's 3 or 5 or whatever the number is on their, you know, the easier bosses. And so people will come to me or just, you know, chit chat and say like, oh, other servers are this and that, or this item should sell for XYZ. And as you all know, GDKP is mostly just a matter of gold auctioning, right? Gold bidding. So if you don't have high competition, you don't have high prices. If you have a high saturation of runs, you can just wait because there will be another DFT, there will be another AQR. Death Sting was kind of crazy. Our Death Sting only sold for 88.50, right? Just shy of 9K. But what I'll tell you is, if there was only one AQ40 GDKP hosted per week, that Death Sting would cost 4 times as more, right? Because the serious buyers would just be very aggressive on their few opportunities. I'm always happy to see big numbers from other people because it's just fun, right? It's just fun seeing big numbers and you know, saying like Gressel sold for this, and you know, it's a best in slot item. It's off of KT. There's no more content after this. You know, if you don't have, sorry, if you have 200,000 gold, what would you really spend on it at that point, right? What would you really do with 200,000 gold except buy the best weapon off the best boss in the game, right? Whether they get it legitimately or not, a lot of it has to still do with supply versus demand, and that's why Fairbanks prices for items has always been historically low compared to other servers. We have a huge supply of raids, and the demand for items is, I would say, more normal and healthy. Definitely not as much as the saturation for demand, right? Take it into the Burning Crusade. You could take 200,000 gold into the Burning Crusade. If that's the case, you know, more players would just be more greedy with their gold, right? I think more people than not are just going to spend their gold immediately. You still have 3 months to swing Gressel. You might be one of the first rogues in the world to have Gressel, right? How many rogues in the world right now can say they have Gressel? Probably less than 100. There's, you know, only 2 weeks of NAX resets. How many guilds have killed KT, right? Thanks for watching, guys. If you guys can share in the comments below what GDKP servers are like on your server, or what prices are like, let me know. I think Fairbanks has a lot of cheap items, but maybe your guys' servers are cheaper, more expensive. Who knows? My theory is supply and demand, but I could be wrong. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.